My name is Machisa Zimba. I'm visually impaired, blind. I'm a human rights defender, or in other words, can say human rights activist for issues of persons with disabilities. And here in Eastern Province, I lead the Eastern Province network for organizations for persons with disabilities. And I'm also the coordinator for what we call CBID, which is Community-Based Inclusive Development Network. So in short, in brief, I'm a human rights activist or human rights defender who does issues of persons with disabilities, making sure that disability is mainstreamed in different areas. I think that's my brief background for now.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Mr. Zimba. My first question is, have you ever heard of the term media freedom?
Yes, I've heard the term media freedom.
What is media freedom and how would you understand it?
I think in my own ways, media freedom is the freedom by media institutions, media practitioners to publish information that is via print, electronic media. When you talk about electronic media, we're talking about radio stations, televisions, and now even including the modern social media platforms where the information can be published through internet, social media, WhatsApp, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, just to mention if you just say social media. Now it also includes the citizens receiving information through the media, what I've mentioned, through maybe digital media space or through electronic media space, that is radio or television. I think that's media freedom. And furthermore, media freedom also allows the citizens to express themselves on the issues that borders on their rights. There may be issues of men, women, or persons with disabilities, or just general citizens, the welfare of the citizens. I think that's, in my own understanding, that's media freedom.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Mr. Zimba. Do you think it exists in Zambia?
Yes, media freedom exists, but with a number of gaps. Why I say so? Yes, we have the media in Zambia, but we still have a lot to be done. Because, for example, here in Zambia, to begin with, if you look at us persons with disabilities, the way we are receiving information through the media is not as equal the way other people who are not persons with disabilities are receiving. So, for example, if you look at the people who are visually impaired, for example, for those people who are visually impaired, you find that here is an advert on TV. They will say there is a job opportunity, you can apply. They will say by audio. Then they will say for more details you can call the numbers on your screen. Now this is a visually impaired person who is alone in the house, who wants to access that information, maybe wants to apply for that job opportunity or school opportunity or any other opportunity. Yes. But that's again, that person has been disadvantaged. Then you look at most of the television stations, they have good programming, but there's no sign language interpreting. Yes, we appreciate that. I think ZNBC is trying. The Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation is trying, but there is more to be done so that people can enjoy the media, this media freedom, so that whatever is being discussed, we can also consume the information which is being consumed by others. Then furthermore, if you look at digital media for visually impaired people, it's difficult because the assist devices that assist the persons with visual impairment are very few, and very few people know how to use these digital assistive devices. Because number one, they are expensive. Then number two, they are not made in Zambia, so it's difficult to find them. For example, this time people are using smartphones. Most of the smartphones are expensive because one of the best phones for the visually impaired is an iPhone, which is very expensive. But now imagine someone who doesn't work, someone who maybe who's not well empowered, who's a visually impaired. They cannot manage to buy a phone at 3,000 kwacha, for example. I'm not saying the all iPhones are 3,000 kwacha, no, because I know now because they are, the prices may change. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for that. I think just to shed more light on what you've already alluded in your previous points, how inclusive is the mainstream media in covering diverse voices, especially the downtrodden, the rural communities, and differently abled persons? Like, for example, I'll give an example of the radio, the TV, and the newspapers.
Yeah, first of all, that's why, as I've already said, that there is much to be, there's more, to be done. For example, so if you look at the newspapers, the radio stations, the television, so as I've already alluded to, if you look at these TV stations, most of them do not have sign language interpreter. So meaning whatever they are programming, the messages that they are sending, those people who are deaf, they are not consuming the information. Anyway, they are not getting. Maybe we use a light term. Not, if I say consuming, only in the media people maybe I may understand that one. Okay. But people are not getting the information.
Yes.
Then if you look at the newspapers, I know the newspapers that are now in both on paper, that is hard copy, and also on soft copy, that is digital.
Yes.
So if we go even on hard copy, for the visually impaired, there are no newspapers in Braille. But we have seen Ethiopia. Ethiopia in Africa is one of the countries that is implementing newspapers in Braille. And the first time the newspaper was published in Ethiopia, the visually impaired in Ethiopia, they were very happy. And I think you are a journalist, you are aware that even the BBC covered that issue, that development, which is good development. But now here in Zambia, we don't see that. Then when if you talk about digital, newspapers that are on digital, the visually impaired, most of them, persons are with visual impairment, do not know how to use a computer, and they do not even have the knowledge of how to use a computer, or how to use a smartphone, or a device that can use digital to access information. So I think that there's still more a gap. Then if you look at the rural areas also, you look at issues of language. Sometimes in some of these media they will use English. Not everyone has been to school or maybe knows English as a language. So I think there is a lot to be done so that media and mainstreaming media should become inclusive to all. Okay. Both those people who are persons with abilities in town and those who are in the rural. Those who are educated and those who are not educated.